Let me introduce you to a park that can only exist in the land of Japan. It may be called Sanrio Puroland, but you might know it as Hello Kittyland. And it's absolutely insane. The adventure to this park actually begins the second you step off the train. You'll see all the characters just littered along the sides of the train station itself and also on the lead up to the actual theme park. This area kind of reminds me of the Kissimmee 192 area in Orlando, Florida, at a smaller scale. You have your restaurants and all these other companies that want to benefit from all the people that are coming to this theme park. Before we go in, I want to point out that this park was created by Landmark Entertainment, and you're probably thinking to yourself, Landmark Entertainment? I've never heard of that, but you have. You probably know the guy Gary Goddard. He made a little movie called Masters of the Universe, which isn't very good. And as Red Letter Media said, and then he never did anything else. But he created one of the greatest theme parks in the world, Islands of Adventure. His company made Islands of Adventure in the 90s. And about 10 years before that, they created Sanrio Puroland during the Japanese bubble. So if you want to see a great example of Japanese excess during their economic high point, this is a wonderful example of that. When you first walk in, you might be a little underwhelmed. You might think, I paid $30 to see this? This isn't even worth it. And then you go down the escalator, and it's like walking into Oz.
Wow, look at this. There's like an owl down there. There's characters. Look at all this.
And don't get me wrong, it does look like it came out of the 90s, but man, first impressions are incredibly impressive. You'll find little alcoves that go into other themed areas as well, and they're mostly just to see shows and get pictures with characters. I also like to point out that I don't think these shows are targeted towards me. They're not my cup of tea. Surprisingly, for a theme park, there's actually only 2 rides. One that opened with the park in 1990 and one that was added in the 2000s. And you can tell the difference in quality between one and the other. But let's talk about the boat ride. It is super cute. And it takes place in a world where no problems exist. For example, when you go to like Universal Studios or Disney, you have a story that you're going to follow, and then, something bad happens, B story happens. That doesn't happen in this. It's just everything is good, everything is nice, everything is fun. That's the ride. I think there was a huge inspiration from It's a Small World in this, because it looks like a very cutified It's a Small World. There is a plot to this ride. You're invited to a party at Kitty's house, and you're not going to believe what happens at the end. Can you guess? You go to the party. Now, this is super duper cute. Everything is adorable in this place, but I think the overarching theme of the theme park itself actually counteracts with all the rides and attractions that are actually inside of it. Because as you can see through this ride, everything's drawn in a very certain style, and everything looks like a cartoon or like they came out of a animated world. And then you leave that animated world to go back to the main center of Sanrio Puroland, and you find yourself in a fairy tale land that has another story that seems to be being told around it. I guess that these creatures inhabit this unique land that looks kind of like Oz, but I find the juxtaposition almost distracting. Like, look at the ending to this ride. There's a scary face looking at you. Perhaps there was a case of too many cooks in the kitchen. I don't know. You guys are going to be mad at me. I had the opportunity to go into Hello Kitty's house, but you know what? I skipped on. Instead of experiencing this experience, I decided to go look in every single alcove that I could find in order to see the story that was trying to be told throughout these little lands, because every little area had its own vignette, and they were incredible. Hands down, though, this was my favorite room. This looked like it belonged in a horror movie. Everything was colored yellow, the lights were creepy, and it all ended in a chair. And it could have literally been in a horror movie if just themed right. This is fantastic, and it almost creeps me out how, like, cute it is. And there was a lot of interactive experiences as well. You touch a button and a series of things go off in a Rube Goldberg machine.
Okay. Oh, you just turn on all the lights.
Oh, and also 2 times a day, the center of the park turns into a giant laser light show that's absolutely insane, and I find it hard to believe that this was made without any substances, because those are completely legal in Japan. The words sensory overload definitely describe the visual aesthetics of this show, and it's hard to believe, but this is not even the main show. Due to COVID, they don't have the big show where all the characters come flying through the room. There are a ton of aerial things that are attached to the roof. I imagine that it's absolutely amazing, and I would like to see that one day. In 2013, they added an area called Sanrio Town, and the quality is a lot less than the main area of the park. It can be really shown in the ride, where you go in a little car and you see these characters that are mostly just cardboard cutouts. But it's still unbelievably cute. And that, for the most part, is Sanrio Puroland. It's a nice little park. It's really nice if you have a family with you, especially with young kids. But unless you're a super fan, I might actually pass on this place. Hey, there's a but. That's just me, though. What do you guys think? Would you want to go to Sanrio Puroland? Would you call it Hello Kitty Land? Let me know in the comments. And until I see you next time, you guys have a good day. Bye.